Alright, so in 24 minutes of speech time, this is what team government has told us. Because the countries these girls come from are absolute shitholes, where the chances of making a living are less than her chances of being killed in an honor killing, she should probably sell herself to this good white man sitting in America, who's going to give her everything: a quality education, a shiny home, a dream job, and essentially make sure that she has the best possible life ever. We tell you the problem with that story is, it's one for the storybooks and not the real world. The reasons are: A, opportunities back home are not as bad as they would want us to believe, and we tell you she has a shot at life even if she stays back home. B, we tell you how this dependency works in the foreign land on the husbands, where they continuously depend on the husbands and there is no self-agency for these women. Thirdly, we tell you, because the sense of having no respect in this relationship, the women, they start hating themselves, they start blaming themselves, and essentially they have a life they start regretting. So one by one, when we tell you about how things back home are good because the wave of industrialization is inevitably going to change their lives for the better in terms of giving them more job opportunities. We tell you even in places where industrialization won't have the same impact, you'll have opportunities for jobs that are more labor intensive in nature, which are menial in nature, and still give them the ability to change their lives, the ability to engage in social mobility. We also tell you how more and more non-governmental organizations, more and more international organizations, even the government, are carrying out awareness programs, are carrying out training programs for these girls to break away from the shackles of patriarchy, to break away from the shackles of financial dependence and do something with their lives. In that context, we tell you the girls do have considerable reason to stay back home and do something with their lives, as opposed to being in a foreign country. And this brings me to my second point, where they have this continual or perpetual sense of dependence on the husbands. Why? Because the husbands, who in most cases for years, even decades, haven't been able to find a wife for themselves, finally think that no, I will use my financial muscle and I'm going to find an obedient wife from foreign country, because they want the right to have sex, they want the right to have the baby, they want someone who will take care of the household when he's gone. So in trying to do that, he finally brings this woman from a foreign country by paying money. And because he thinks he has this sense of entitlement because he paid for it, and the wife thinks that he's been freed from the shackles of poverty by this man, he always exercises this right of subjugation, always exercises his domination, and doesn't in most cases let her go and have the dream job or education, because A, first, she doesn't have the skills, and B, if he let her do that, he would essentially stand the chance of these girls becoming less obedient, these girls having more financial independence. So he doesn't even let that happen. So we tell you, we always have this continual sense of dependence. At least back home, the girls would be able to do something with their lives. Thirdly, besides this sense of not having no self-agency at all, the girls, because of the abuse, because of society looking down upon her, often as opportunistic gold diggers, because of her not getting the sense of dignity and respect not only from her husband, but also from the people living around her, she starts little by little hating herself, because she's conditioned herself into a situation where she believes there's nothing good awaiting her. She becomes depressed. She tends to blame herself for this life that she regrets. She tends to blame herself for living her family back in her country and quitting that good life that she could have had. So since she does not really have any peace of mind, we tell you she lives in a situation where she more and more regrets this life, and more starts to feel that she's not going to get anything out of this life, other than maybe a good shiny home where she has more food, better clothes, but no self-agency whatsoever, no sense of respect whatsoever, and she continuously regrets this life. So for all those reasons, we tell you, since the government has not, in reply to any of those points, given us any substantial reasons to believe otherwise, we easily take this debate home. Thank you.